Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this video, we'll look at how to pronounce the word went in phrases. We're going to look at how we pronounce words with NT, with T at the end, and how this is part of fluent speech, having an American accent, and being well understood when you're speaking English. So if I'm just saying the word went by itself or at the end of a phrase, as in I went, he went, they went, you might notice that I said it a couple of different ways there. I can either use the T, I went, he went, they went, or we'll often use a stopped T or unreleased T when a word ends with the T sound and we're ending on that word. For example, I went, I went. And what I do when I make that unreleased T is I'm still stopping the air. I'm still putting my tongue where the T would go. I'm just not releasing it. So a released T went T. The air comes out. There's a burst. There's a T sound. An unreleased or stopped T, I went, went. I'm still putting my tongue there. I'm just not dropping it and letting the T out. Because I'm making that I went, the N sound is going to be cut very short because I'm blocking the air entirely to form the T, even though I'm not releasing it. What you don't want to hear is I when. You don't want that to continue because it's not going to sound like you have any T there. That'll just sound like you dropped the T off or like you're saying the word when. I did that when. You should hear a difference with when than versus went and when. I use that same unreleased T when I'm using the word went or a word ending with NT and the next word starts with a consonant sound. I went to, I went there, I went yesterday, etc. Again, I make my N sound short. I have that unreleased T and that's the most typical way. I can say I went to, but you can hear how that makes too much of a break and it's more effort. It breaks the flow and the fluency of my speech. So the stopped or unreleased T is very typical, both when the word ends the sentence or is by itself or when the next word starts with a consonant sound. And you can get more help for the different types of T sounds we make in English in my videos specifically focused on those, as well as in our Sounds of English course. I'll walk you through all of the sounds of English and how we say them in different places and words so you can pronounce any word you want confidently and easily in American English. That's our Sounds of English course on our website, speechmodification.com. Lastly, when we link a T to a vowel, if it's not an NT word, we typically use a flap. So if I'm saying, for example, it's hot out or I got it, I got it. What happens there is that T it sounds more like a D sound. It's voiced. It becomes a flap. Hot out, got it, etc. And these words, and any word ending with T when we link to a vowel, that's how we typically do it in American English. But when we have an NT word, we don't do the same. So I do link went and on, and I have two options. I can either say went on, where I have kind of still that T sound and it doesn't change to a flap. I won't say went on. Sounds strange. Went on. Or I can drop this T and it'll sound like I'm linking from the N to the ah sound in on. I went on. I went on to do it. I went on with my life. So two choices. Using your T with, it's not a fully aspirated T, not went on. I don't want a lot of air there. Went on. But you can hear it's definitely voiceless and it's a T rather than a D or a flap. Or I went on. That's because we often, this starts to function, the phrase, like a word with an NT in the middle. Like, for example, the word interview or international. When we have an NT in the middle, like in the inter part, we often will just drop that T and say more interview, international, internet, for example. So that's what is happening here, that this is, I went on to do something better. Went on becomes like one word with an NT in the middle, and we drop the T. So two options there, use your T or drop it entirely. And then when the word ends with just the T, unreleased T, or when the word is followed by a consonant, unreleased T. As I mentioned earlier, you can get more help for all of the different things that American T does in the middle and ends of words in my videos here on the channel. And also in our Sounds of English course, we break it down in a lot of detail to help you understand and use these American T sounds correctly and accurately. Thanks so much for watching this video and for all of the ways you support the channel by liking, commenting, subscribing. Most of my videos now are based on your requests, so do feel free to leave a request for a word you'd like to see me cover or a question like this. This viewer wanted to know what happens with went on. Do we use the T sound? Do we make a flap, etc.? You can also get questions answered in our Saturday live question and answer classes. Attend, type your questions in the chat, and I'll answer them for you live. I'll be covering that on Saturday, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another word of the day. I hope to see you there. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone. Hope to see you again soon.